girl, I know you think it's a game, but it is absolutely not, okay? This is the energy supplement from Just Move Supplements. That's right. It's damn near all gone, girl. And that's because I had to get that energy up so I can complete the workout, so I can give y'all this body, this transformation, get into it, okay? And I'm done working out now, so that's why we're moving on to the protein shake. Oh yes, it's already in there, girl. It's already made right here. This is the mixture of the banana pudding, the chocolate cake, and the buttercream cupcake. And you really want to be fancy, you can go ahead and add that blueberry muffin if that's what you want to do, girl. But for me, it's these three right here, okay? You put that with some almond milk, you mix it all up, and honey, okay, your muscles have gained life, new energy, agility. Get into it, okay? Just Move Supplements. Thank you very much. Hold up, Chief. Okay, don't forget about that TLC NutriBurst to get that multivitamin pocket, because we all need a little extra. And child, if you want that sea moss that go down smooth, don't come up rough, okay? Get into the TLC Nautica sea moss. Yes, get that from me. And child, if your stomach hurt and you need to move some things around so you can be free, okay, go ahead and get that ISO tea down below in the description box. Get it all from me. Come on in, come on in, come on in, not come on in, not come. Sorry, y'all know I'm weird, whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead, Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your girl BondyBlue. We back for another scripted TV, y'all. How's everybody doing on this good Thursday? Yeah, I'm super duper excited because I just got my new sectional and I'm excited because it's nice. And so when I'm done working out today, I'm gonna be chilling on my new sectional. So yeah. But anyway, I hope y'all are doing good because we're about to get into some things, y'all. Child, All American is on the CW, wherever that may be for you. That's a local station. But when I tell y'all, I cried so hard for This Is Us. I said, why would y'all even do me like that? Like, why did I need to cry that hard? Why did Rebecca Sendoff have to make me that emotional? I had to gather myself, okay? I've been watching everything all morning because I hadn't had a chance to actually sit and make notes before now. So I literally just finished watching all 3 episodes, All American Homecoming, and This Is Us. And for, excuse me, my emotional sake, we're going to go ahead and start off with This Is Us, okay? Y'all, This Is Us really, I'm going to say it as many times as I need to, has to be one of the most epic shows of all time. I feel like I see things a certain way, but I have never in my life seen a show put life in such a perspective. At the end of the episode, what William said to Rebecca about if you can have a wide perspective on life, then you'll see just how beautiful things really are. When I tell y'all, I think I told y'all last time we talked about this, how I had broke something down, in such a way
that it was basically like me stepping back and looking at a life in its entirety to bring it together. You know what I'm saying? And really to make it make sense at the end of the day. Because, there are things that happen in people's lives that be fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And there needs to be some grace in it, some beauty in it. And I like to see the moments and how they connect. I like how the moments that can be so, messed up, moments that can be so terrible in that moment can end up being some of the best things in our lives as far as how they can change our trajectory or just how it can change our outlook or brings different people into our orbit or makes us learn something about ourselves that we can take with us. You know what I'm saying? Throughout life that's beneficial. So ultimately, when you're really able to look at it like that, I think you can have a better perspective on life, period. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as what you value and what you are willing to sell yourself for in some ways. Because I feel like, we all are selling ourselves in one way or another way. We're selling our time, selling our energy, our jobs, or however we submit to the society that we live in. So ultimately, I think that it's crazy that This Is Us does the perfect job of giving you this wide perspective. And I feel like I've always been seeing the wide perspective. And now that I'm getting older, I'm really seeing it. You know what I'm saying? In a way that almost scares me sometimes. And this show definitely helps with that. Because it's like, oh wow, other people are seeing the shit the way I see the shit. You know what I'm saying? Other people are clicking into this the way I kind of click into it. But until somebody puts like a picture or words to it, you don't always know exactly what it is. You're thinking and feeling and understanding until somebody puts it on the show or in a book or you hear somebody say it. And then you finally have the clear perspective of what it is you've kind of been feeling and thinking, you know? So I appreciate This Is Us for that. And this is the second to last episode, y'all. So we're about to get into it. Yes, I'm bringing chocolate cake to the Rebecca's repast. Oh, Lord. Y'all know I love me some chocolate cake. I think I might try to make my way down to Sucre today. I tried to go yesterday, but I ended up waiting too late. I need to try to make my way over there, though, because you talking about chocolate cake made me want some dessert. So, y'all, let's go ahead and get into This Is Us, shall we? Let me lower this music a little bit more. So, I'm going to just go ahead and say Amara and Dule. All right? That's what I'm going to call them. Hold up, y'all. I'm coming on camera. And I'm saying Amara and Dule because that's Dule. Okay, I don't know how else you pronounce his name. That's Dule. And that's Amara from All American Homecoming. Okay? That are at the beginning of the episode of This Is Us as the Brooks family. Child, we don't know why we watching the Brooks family. We don't know who they are. We need it to make sense because it don't. Hold up. But either way, the Brooks family was driving down the road, coming from, it seems like their middle son's baseball game or something like that. Basketball, I think it was baseball. But either way, hey girl, they got into an accident. A car veered into their lane. And Marcus, the middle child, ends up being in the hospital and he almost dies. And it leaves him with a circulation issue in his foot and his leg. Okay. And we'll see him when it was soccer. Okay. It was soccer. We'll see him when he gets older. Okay. But this is what happened at the time, right? So the two other children, the daughter, the oldest son, mom and dad are fine, but Marcus is not. This is the same night that Jack and the family came to the hospital when the house burned down and Jack died from the smoke inhalation. But he was getting coffee and he was waiting on them to run tests on him. And he runs into Dule by the coffee. And Jack, being the type of man he is, I feel like, especially after having, Randall for a son, I think in ways that white people would normally not engage with black people all the time, I think Jack would feel the need to. I don't know why, but that's just how I felt in the moment. Because, like, Jack, you almost died, and you looking at this man. This man is not even, he's not even looking at Jack. He's worried about his son. And even though Jack doesn't necessarily have anything to be worried about, he just went through a very traumatic experience, and he's about to die in a minute, and he doesn't even know it. But I'm sure he's not feeling good in the moment. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he turns to him and it's like, everything all right, it's a tough night, like, just kind of having a conversation. And Dule explains that, explained to him that his family just got into a car accident and his son may not be okay. And Jack says, I'll tell you what a smarter man told me. And it was something about, lemons. And I think it must have been that when life gives you lemons, make lemonade saying, which probably wasn't a thing. What I'm saying, as much back then as it is, now, I don't know. But they were saying it as if it was something that they never heard before, as if it was something crazy, throughout the episode. So it made me feel like it was either that or something similar to that. Either way, whatever Jack told Dule took it to his kids and his wife and told them that no matter what, everything was going to be okay. We're going to get back to them. But remember that, okay? So we see Rebecca, y'all. Rebecca is old. Rebecca is on her way out, y'all. She laying in a bed. Her nurse comes in, checks her vitals, and can tell that stuff is starting to shut down. On the inside of Rebecca's mind, we see her on one of those old, beautiful trains where everybody's all dressed up. And her dad used to take her on regular train rides all the time, and she really loved it. And he would always say how he wished one day he could take her on a train like the one she was on. And William came up to her, and William becomes her assist during this process, which is so crazy to me because I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I almost feel like I want to rewatch the show a little bit, because there was a time when Rebecca and William were connecting in a way that showed their bond was something deeper than was being seen. So for him to be the person that walks her through, this process instead of Miguel, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought it was crazy. And I would really like to know the creator and, the writer and everybody, whoever made that decision for that to happen. I would really like to know what their reasoning is behind it. I'm curious. But yes, so it's Miguel should have had more time in this episode. I think so too. But I almost feel like the moments are longer than we think. You know what I'm saying? Like for her. The way she stopped and looked at him, like it was all of these moments of like childlike wonder going on with Rebecca during this time. And something about it, y'all, motherfucking Mandy Moore, bruh. Mandy Moore is magnificent in this role. Like she always is. She has the ability in her acting, and she has ever since she was a teenager when she did the movie, when she was the cancer patient who died at the end and the dude was in love with her. A Walk to Remember. Child, y'all know that was the movie in the early 2000s. Was that late 90s, early 2000s? Whatever. Anyway, that was a movie. Okay. And I can remember the reason why I fell in love with her outside of the music was that role. And it was because she really pulled on your heartstrings in the softest way. It's crazy. And she was able to replicate that same type of innocence while she's going through the train with everybody and talking to everybody. Like, this is the end of this woman's life. You know what I'm saying? This is as much, I know as much. I've done as much. I've lived this long life, regardless of everything that's going on in her mind. Rebecca has been a mother. She's been a wife multiple times. She's been a friend. She's been a sister. She's been everything. She's been a spectacular person. And she is walking through this train with this innocent childlike wonder, and I found it extremely heart-wrenching. I don't know. It was something about it that made it even harder to watch, like without wanting to burst into tears, because it really did feel like, oh wow, this must be what it looks like when people are about to die in their minds. The freeness. They're, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like returning to your childhood in some way. Um, Girl, I cried like someone I knew had died. When I tell you, I'm fighting it right now. I'm fighting it right now. You goddamn, this is us people. Oh, deep breaths, deep breaths, deep breaths. So everyone shows up to the house to say goodbye to Rebecca. Toby even came through, of course. This is the scene we've been seeing, spliced in at the end of the episode throughout the years, right? And Kate was flying in from London. She was out of town. It wasn't that she y'all, I'm talking about sinuses, and I was crying earlier, like like I was just like okay. Kate was out of town, flying in from London. She's taking a curriculum that she's teaching to the blind kids. That curriculum, she's making it international. So she's making a big jumps. And y'all, if we're gonna talk about how fine Kevin ass is throughout this entire situation, okay? I feel like they did our boy Randall wrong with the way they made him look as an old man. But because I feel like he would definitely look way better than this. Y'all are doing him a disservice. But Kevin on the other hand looks like white Jesus. You know what I'm saying? But in cowboy or beautiful, a old Hollywood type of way. You know what I'm saying? It was giving what's your boy name? Why am I spacing? Why am I spacing on that asshole? The one who used to play in the action movies all the time, Indiana Jones. Is that Harrison Ford? No, that's not Harrison Ford. Who's that? I don't remember. I can't. My mind is blanking. Either way, it's giving old Hollywood beautiful. Yes, old Randall looks more nerdy. Old Kevin is young. They made a lot of them look really old. They are only in their mid to late 40s. Kate was amazing. No, I think at this point they might be in their closer to their the 50s, right? Harrison Ford. Okay, so it was Harrison Ford. Okay, thank you. So yeah, y'all. Deja tells Randall that she's pregnant, even though whoever she's pregnant for, because we were confused. The way they had spliced in Marcus, we didn't know if Deja was pregnant for Marcus or not. They always trying to confuse us. But either way, at the time we believed that she was talking about Marcus, because she was like, he's always at work all the time. We're not even married yet. And I'm all, I just started my residency. And it was also crazy how the person that they got to play Deja as an adult sounds just like Deja. Almost as if they dubbed her voice. And I know they didn't, but that shit was crazy. I was like, why does she sound so much like Deja? That's crazy. Anyway. So we see Marcus working in the lab. He was working on a way to shrink tumors. So he's working on cancer medication. The medication had some type of reaction in the lab, but at the time, it wasn't a big enough reaction. The lab is already shutting down because they're losing funding. So he goes to sit with his siblings, okay, the siblings we saw him with as, kids, but now they're adults. And they talk about how their dad used to always tell them, to make lemons out of whatever the family motto about lemons was. We know that motto that has stuck with them as a family came from Jack. And then in the flashback, in the hospital, we see, oh my God, we see that basically Jack was dying at the exact same time that the doctor was resuscitating Marcus. Almost as if Jack had to die in order for Marcus to live. I mean, honestly, that's exactly what happened, because the doctor who was supposed to go back to see Jack, his vitals were good, and the little boy was upstairs coding. So he had to be upstairs with that little boy because he was coding and Jack was fine. And by the time he comes back down, Jack then had the heart attack and died. And I mean, the look on his face, he was like, his vitals were fine. So this doctor has to go and tell Rebecca that her husband is dead, but then he has to go and tell the Brooks family that their little boy will make it and he's fine. You know what I'm saying? You'll have to do some physical therapy and stuff, but he'll be fine, you know. So it was just like, you know, how a terrible moment. How you just don't even realize. That's, I think, the point of that, y'all. The point of realizing that sometimes things happen that are so painful and so messed up, but they have a purpose in life that is not necessarily a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the purpose of this fits into the puzzle. So don't feel like it's something that you need to fight against. Because I think often when things like this happen, like deaths and all of that, people get angry about it and feel like it wasn't supposed to happen and feel as if it's something that they can be resentful for. And it's not. It's really, really not. Like, death happens when it's supposed to happen. Unfortunately, however, it's supposed to happen. And however that may happen, I think it has an effect on the people, you know, around, especially if you matter, you know, and even sometimes if you didn't matter to that person. Jack didn't know the Brooks family at all and affected them in this amazing way, and also was in some way sacrificed for their son to live. Then later on, for Marcus to grow up and do research on Alzheimer's. That was the medication towards Alzheimer's. And I'm wondering if, because they didn't tell us the time frame that Marcus, you know, had made that research. But we know that the only reason why Rebecca lived so long is because Randall had her on that new medication that they have came out with. So I'm wondering if it's like Jack died so Marcus can live, and years later, when Rebecca gets Alzheimer's, the boy who lived helps create the medication that gave her more time with her family. Like, whoa. Okay? Whoa. Yes, and then Rebecca's dying and Deja's bringing new life into the world at the same time. It's insane. It makes it like, it's heart-wrenching. It's heart-wrenching. Oh my God. Because it's not just sad. It's also complex. It's also beautiful. It's also, like they kept saying, big and so gigantic. And I just think it fills all the spaces when you can look at it from the whole perspective. Yes, full. It fills all of the spaces. And that's how it should be. Y'all, I was drinking yesterday, so I'm having to get my little my little liquid IV going on. So y'all, that that was hard in my throat. Okay. So everyone takes turns saying goodbye to Rebecca, and Beth goes first. She tells her, as mothers, they fake it, they imitate the best images of mothers that they've seen. And she said she had a good mom, but it was complicated. So on her worst days, she was doing her best impression. On her best days, she was doing, not her worst days, her best days. On her best days or whatever, she was doing her best impression of Rebecca. Sorry, y'all. Let me do it again. Beth says, I just want to say all these years when I was faking it, I was doing my best impression of you. Thank you for helping me with that incredible, complicated, beautiful boy. But I got him now. I can take him the rest of the way. Oh, girl. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. Okay, we got to make it through. Beth is the absolute best. And you know what's so funny? What I felt watching Beth, I said, bitch, Beth is giving Claire Huxtable. And that's that on that. Like think about that. Like the double entendre of it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's who actually played your mama, okay, on the show. And you talk about faking it and imitating, you know what I'm saying? And the person who you actually mimic on this show is the person who played your mama, who is Claire motherfucking Hudson. And that's the energy that Beth gives off. And let's not even get into the fact that Beth is giving Debbie Allen, okay, with the dance studio and all of that. Like, it's definitely giving my idea for Beth was a mix between Debbie Allen and Felicia Rashad. Like, that's what it's giving, honey. That's what it's giving. So tell them I said it. I saw it. I know that's what they were doing. Kate calls, okay, and she's on a plane 12 hours away, but she is on her way. And she tells Kevin and Randall, you tell my mama that her daughter is coming. Do you hear me? You tell her. Okay, she had to get off the phone. Randall talks to Beth about what Deja told him, and she, about being pregnant. And she said, I'm that girl's mother, Randall. I knew she was pregnant before she knew she was pregnant. I was like, the connection. I love it. I love it. Okay, we are here. Okay, yes. Rebecca talks to the doctor who delivered her babies all those years ago. Child, we loved him, right? He's a testament. That doctor was a testament to the fact that if you are really out here in this world being a good person and doing what you do to the best of your capabilities, and when you're a doctor having care for people and being a good person in that job, it means that you come in contact with people at some of their worst moments. And just you being the good version of yourself is a fucking lifesaver that is cemented in their souls forever, to the point that when they die, you are one of the people that helps them transition, because you are so good to them in a moment where they almost died initially. And I was like, that shit, oh my God, like it makes my throat hurt. Like the connection, y'all, the connection. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, yeah, Miguel should have been the train guide, but I also feel like it was something about William. I think it was because William, this is probably what it was. Rebecca was having a really hard time with Randall. Remember, at first they gave Randall the name that they wanted to give the other baby that died, and it was almost like they were forcing a baby into that spot without really grieving the baby that was gone. And plus, Randall's Black, and she's having to deal with having a Black child. Like if it was a white child, maybe she could forget, look at him and forget. But Randall was a reminder, that he was not really for her. And she had to physically, breastfeed him like she did the rest of the kids and everything. So I think she was having a hard time connecting until William showed up. Remember when she finally, had met up with William very early on, and he's the one that gave her the book for her to find Randall's name and all of that. I believe that seeing William gave her perspective. So if somebody in life is kind of going through life in a fog, like white women can kind of go through a fog because they don't have to be affected by anything but their life. So they kind of go through being unaware. And having a Black son, I think she felt even more like ignorant and unaware. And I think that meeting and encountering William kind of pulled her out of that a little bit. I think it was the nudge that she needed to feel like Randall needed her, because they thought the mom was dead, and she was looking at William. William was back on drugs at this point because he thought that the woman had died. So he spiraled out of control again. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, I can't give him up. I can't send him back to this. He can't, you know what I'm saying? So she probably felt like he's supposed to be with me because I can give him a better life. So that, and in that probably pushed her into being a mother to Randall even more so, and make her really form a connection with him, right? I think that also made Rebecca a much better person. I think not only, it didn't just make her a better person, it made her a more compassionate person and a better mother. And it made her kind of more aware than a lot of white women can be. So I do think in a way, William kind of ushered her out of her fog of white lady ignorance in a way. And it made her realize that she needed to be there for Randall. And in that, it kind of pulled her out of something where she was then more aware thereafter. And I think in that awareness, it made her life more fruitful, because Kevin and Kate, it took them away to find themselves, and it took them away to be able to appreciate their parents and not be full of themselves. But Randall provided a constant reminder that Rebecca was doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Randall was a constant reminder that Rebecca was doing the right thing, not just because she was raising a black son, and raises her, but because her relationship with him was so fruitful. He protected Kate. You know what I'm saying? He was the good kid. He was the one she could rely on. So it was almost like, he pushed me to make this decision or to keep Randall or to really like lean into being his mother. And it has been one of the best things in my entire life, being his mother. And so I think that is probably why William is the one that would usher her through this process, because he in fact kind of pulled her through another one, even if it was just for a moment. I think that's kind of the thought process behind that. I could be wrong, but that's what it feels like when I'm thinking about how Rebecca and William connected. That day when she went back to the apartment and saw him and saw where he lived and all of that, like it really feel like it gave her the perspective that she needed, because it was like she had no idea what Randall could have possibly be sending him back to, basically, if she decided she didn't want to keep him. And I think she was kind of feeling like that might have been, an option at the time to give him back. Amani, thank you for the super chat, boo. Since I boohoo so bad, William was right. It's a bigger perspective. It's all connected. We are all connected. We really are. We really, really are, bro. It's crazy. And I feel like I see that more and more every day. So, like I said, Rebecca talked to the doctor who delivered her babies, and he says he thought he would lose her, but she made it. So, he was like, but you made it. He was like, you made it so that you could lose a child, and then you could lose a husband. And even with all that, you made something incredible and gigantic and spectacular. You made this big, gigantic, spectacular thing with your life. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'll say it before and I'll say it again. You are one of the toughest people that I know. You have earned your rest. Bruh, when I tell you, when he said you have earned your rest, how I wanted to fall the fuck out. Oh my God. I cannot. Y'all know that's how I felt about my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though he was like younger than I wanted him to be, I still felt like that nigga earned that rest, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was tired, then I felt like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never felt like I had to hold on or anything like that, or be angry. I would have my moments of being upset about him not being here now, but always in the mindset of whatever is after this, it being a more peaceful space for him and him deserving that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Ooh, that shit took me out, y'all. So hold up, because my shit's acting funny. Okay. So what's next? Then the kids, the grandkids, and Toby. Toby had a funny moment, which I love. He was talking to Rebecca and he was like, admit it, you love me more than Philip. I loved it. I loved it so much, But everybody kind of had their turn to say their goodbyes and say what they wanted to say. And I thought it was so beautiful. I think whenever people can have moments like that in death, I think that's beautiful and a blessing. You know what I'm saying? That was pretty much the best way to explain death, and how it isn't actually sad. It's sort of an accomplishment if you had a full life, right? Oh my God, isn't it though? That's exactly like how I view it. You know what I'm saying? And I also view it as like the full picture from beginning to end. And I feel like I've always been doing that. Y'all, I almost kind of creeped myself out a little bit one day because I was looking at this picture. I was looking at like maybe 1 or 2 pictures of me when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? Like a kid. And the look in my eyes made me feel like, oh my God, like, when people say you was here before, and yeah, no, I really, really was. Because I feel like I have been soaking up everything, but it doesn't look like the eyes of a child that is oblivious to the world around them. It looked like somebody that's soaking it all up, that's paying attention to all of it. And now that I'm, about to be 34 next week, I really do feel like I did that shit. Like that's what I feel like a lot of my perspective comes from, is the fact that I've been paying attention for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So if you go through life for a number of years and you're not just paying attention to your own shit, but you're paying attention to other people's lives and how their lives turned out, and what you know of the parts that you weren't there, but you know the parts you were there for, and what it's looking like on the tail end, and you can kind of look at it as a full story instead of always looking at it present or in its pieces. You know what I'm saying? The shit really takes me out though, the way they presented it on this show. But everybody says their goodbyes. Annie, oh my God, Annie, because Rebecca is like walking through the train, and on every seat it's somebody saying something to her about what she did for them. And Annie, that's the um Randall and Randall and Beth's youngest. She says, you taught me it was okay to be small as long as I didn't think I was small. And you taught me it was okay to be quiet as long as I could get loud when I needed to. And I was like, I know that's motherfucking right. Like, it's not that you always need to be one way. It's more so that you need to be sure that you are as balanced as you can be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't always have to be loud, but you need to be able to speak up for yourself. And you could be a little bitty person like myself, but your energy can be real big, okay? And you could be out here with BDE for no reason at all. Okay, no reason at all, just real big dick energy. Kevin and Randall go in last in talk, and they're talking about how strong Jack was. And it's so funny because as they're talking about that, she's walking through the train and we can see Randall with little Randall on his back as he's doing push-ups the way Jack used to do with little Randall. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see Kevin talking to his kid the way Jack used to talk to him. It was like crazy, okay? And then Rebecca sees Miguel, and he tells her that she's still his favorite person. And the look on her face, like the love, it was just, I don't know, it was just crazy the way Mandy Moore was able to emote with her facial expressions during this episode. But William comes to get her, doesn't give her long at all. William says, we gotta go, and then we see, because we come back, out of her consciousness into present time, and Deja is in her room sleeping, and Malik comes in. This is when we realize that Deja wasn't pregnant for the Marcus we were seeing. Deja is actually pregnant for Malik, who works all the time because he owns a restaurant, probably. Y'all remember he was always good at cooking. And she's pregnant, and she was like, I know, this isn't the best time, and this isn't an easy situation because of how much you work and how much I work. And he was like, what are you talking about, Dej? It's actually really easy. I've been in love with you since I was 16. I want to have this baby with you. I want to have life with you. I want to marry you. You know what I'm saying? So it's the beginning of a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? And in that, making this ending even more beautiful. So Kate finally shows up, and they say their goodbyes. And, Rebecca can see her little kid form sitting in the corner of the bedroom at the end of the train. I think it's the caboose. And she turns to William because all of the kids are saying their goodbyes. And she was like, it's sad, isn't it? And he says, I think it's kind of lazy to think about the world as sad. He said, everything ends, everything dies. But if you allow yourself the gift of a really wide perspective, you'll see the end is not sad. It's just the start of the next incredibly beautiful thing. Y'all, the writers on this show are just so magnificent. So she thanks him. He puts his hat on. He walks out. She turns around, and she's looking at the bed. Nobody's in the bed. She goes to lay down, and when she turns over, Jack is there, and he says, hey, and she says, hey. And I think next episode is the repast, the funeral, and then we'll go through the motions of tying everything up for the last episode. I hate you people at This Is Us. I hate you people. I hate you so much. Why do y'all do this to me? Why? Listen, DeQuasia, no. Don't be quiet 24/7. Don't be quiet 365 black. There are times where you need to be loud. You got to get that out. That's why God gave us voices. What we bringing to Rebecca's funeral? Oh, okay. I'm you know what I'm gonna bring to Rebecca's funeral, girl? I'm gonna bring the liquor. Maybe I shouldn't because Kevin is a recovering alcoholic. Okay, never mind. Um, I don't know. I think I would probably want to bring some wings. Yeah, I bring some wings, girl. I'm gonna bring some wings. Bring some wings down to the repairs, down to the funeral. All right, y'all. That was this us. Let's go ahead and move on to All American. But before we do, we gotta change up this vibe a little bit. So y'all know what I need y'all to do for me. Girl, when your lover and your secretary ain't here, so you just gotta be in here slurping to the bottom of your water. You bring a catfish and mac and cheese, fried chicken and mac and cheese, 3 old ladies recipes. Don't you wear your family come with thing. Goddamn you, Candy, and that catchy ass theme song. Anyway, y'all, let's get all into All American. Okay. Hold up, y'all. Let me turn my AC down. Hold up. Let's turn this fan on. Oh, you make my love come down. Oh, you make my love come down. Make it come all the way down. Oh, you make my love come down. All right, y'all. Kevin must be a multi-millionaire. Oh, yeah, for sure. Kevin started doing real estate, remember? So I'm sure that's what it is with his fine ass. Okay, looking all good, looking all moisturized. Okay, looking like a white man. I like the. Okay. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into it. So Spencer is still doing this whole house divided crap between him and Asher, and it's kind of annoying everybody, including Jordan and JJ. But y'all know JJ, he can't take this negative energy. Okay. Coop is working with Laura and Patience. Looks like she wants that old thing back. That's what it's looking like. I love the fact that Coop is working with Laura and it's kind of looking like Coop is gonna go into law and go into legal. She seems excited and rejuvenated by it. And honestly, I feel like it'll keep her on the right side of the law. And she needs to be there. Okay. Patience. I'm actually here for Patience, feeling like, okay, now that you got something going on and you seem more confident and back to your stable ways, and maybe you can do something more with your life instead of ending up back dead in the hospital, girl, because you know you didn't been through it a few times in life. So if you're going to do something good with your life, hold up. Let me hold on before you move on and go away from me. Okay. Since you won't be with the sky girl. Okay, we're gonna get into it, but you know, Coop got the little sky girl. Spitting and shit. We're team Patience. So anyway, y'all, South Crenshaw Halloween vandal. Apparently, every year at South Crenshaw, somebody comes in and vandalizes the school. So the principal got to stay there late at night. I said it's 2022. You could just get some Ring cameras and take your ass home and wait on the internet to ding, ding, ding your phone. But okay, fine. Billy has to stand watch, and he asked Preach because he's scared. And Preach was like, man, look, it is real scary up and around this school at night. I don't know if I want to do all that. He was like, listen, man, I really need your help. Okay. And Preach was like, listen, I'll do it as long as I get some perks like a mini fridge and some other shit. I'm going to come up with a list. And Billy was like, all right, fine. Come with the list tonight. Thanks. I love them. I love that they're friends. JJ is planning a murder mystery Halloween party, which I love because I'm obsessed. Asher is talking about how he's not gonna come since him and Spencer are beefed out, and Spencer was like, "I'm not gonna go," and so Asher was like, "No, I'm not gonna go." And he's like, "Okay, cool, then I'm gonna go then." You know what I'm saying? So it's real beef. It's beef going on in the house right now between John B and Spencer. Okay, don't listen to what people say. They don't know about you and me. Put it out your mind, cause jealousy, they don't know about this here. That's what it was giving. And it was very, very giving much sexual vanilla. Okay. It was very much giving sexual white chocolate. Okay. I was so here for it. Okay. So Jordan is avoiding Layla and acting like a hoe. The beginning of the episode started off with some random girl who he was screwing walking around the house and getting scared by one of the props that JJ had for the party. And then he's going to bring her roommate, which she looks damn near just like, okay? Not John B and Deion Sanders are fighting. Don't do Spencer like that. We got to find a less greasy. Okay, give us a less greasy football player from the 90s. Okay. But yes, he brings this second blonde girl who is Tessa's roommate, just acting like a big old hoe. He went to her apartment to invite Tessa, but she wasn't there, so he invited the roommate. Yeah, Jordan, you're just acting like you're wilding. You're wilding out. JJ has them solving this murder mystery, and it's his murder 10 years in the future. Okay, everyone has new lives. Coop is a judge in 10 years. Layla has Grammys. Jordan is working at a car dealership with his dad, kind of, leashing off his dad. Olivia is single and, a really great journalist and doing good in that respect. I believe Patience is an actress. She stopped singing and she has awards for doing that. Spencer went pro. He's in NFL, and Asher called on him 2 years before JJ's death to come and play for him. And Spencer wants to be traded. So he's setting up this whole story that's basically supposed to help them not lose contact with each other like it seems like they're going to, because they've been disconnecting ever since they graduated from high school, even though they're living together. So Coop didn't bring Sky to the party. She says it's because the party went from being at the beach house to now being at their house, the girl's house. And Patience has a raised eyebrow because she like, girl, please, you didn't invite that girl because you was trying to see what was up with me because I was giving you energy this morning when you was in there cooking breakfast and looking cute and shit. Now that you got somewhere to go and somewhere to be. Eddie George might be a good one. Grace comes to help Billy that night at the school, but also she came to tell him that D'Angelo, okay, aka ex-principal Carter, asked her to move to Oakland with him, and she's considering it. She's thinking about it, really tough, but she can't be here and in Oakland at the same time. Somebody is calling Liv's phone, and when she answers, they just sit and breathe. They're also sending weird texts, I believe. I don't know what that's about, but Liv canceled her story about Wade to protect Spencer. And he tells her, I didn't ask you to do that. You can't be making sacrifices like that. We are already growing apart. And if we make decisions that compromise who we are and what our dreams are for one another, that's not going to be healthy for us. And I was just like, somebody come get this futuristic ass nigga. I swear for God, I love him. Somebody come get him. He's so emotionally intelligent. Like, wow, Spencer, just wow. I love it. Layla tries to talk to Jordan when they look at, some clues together. And she says she's surprised he's moving on so quickly. It's obvious that he's sleeping with every girl in LA because Simone broke his heart and he's trying to hide it. She says, you don't know me. He says, you don't know me like that, bitch. He was upset about it. He didn't hit her, but he was upset about it. And she was like, okay, then I guess I was wrong. I'm like, girl, you know, these men can never take when you read them down to their toenails. You know, they obvious as a motherfucker. You tell them they obvious, they get all upset. Nigga, all right, I'm just telling you what I already see. I know you think you hiding it from me. Okay. But anyway, Coop and Patience talk about the clues and how something happened 2 years before JJ got killed. So she's kind of the one figuring it out more so than anybody else, which shows that she should definitely be in this legal realm. The janitor down to the school tells Billy, I don't know why this janitor felt the need to impart his wisdom on Billy, but either way, it just kind of came out of nowhere, which made me feel like suspect. Okay. But basically, he told him that Grace needs to do what she needs to do. And if Billy really wants to be the principal of that school, he gonna make it happen, Captain, with or without her. Okay. So Asher and Spencer have to work through this clue that JJ has for the both of them, right? And a part of their storyline is that Asher asked for Spencer to come and play for him 2 years ago. And he was like, I know we haven't spoken in 8 years. You know what I'm saying? So something happened. Something happened, I think, 2 years from now, 2 years from where they are now, I think. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what he was saying. I'm not sure. I'm confused about the timeline a bit, but either way, it's obvious that this is all centered around Asher and Spencer realizing that they don't stop being assholes. They're all going to ruin everybody else's friendships because we're going to start drifting even more because of the beef that the two of y'all have. So Asher is wondering if the friendship was ever really real in the first place, if he can just turn it off. And he started going down the line about how Spencer stole his girlfriends and Spencer stole his spot on the team. And Spencer was like, no, sir. If you didn't cheat on one of the girlfriends and slut the other one at prom, slut shame the other one at prom, maybe they wouldn't have left you for me. And outside of that, I didn't steal your spot. I took it because I'm better than you. And Asher was like, oh, now you said it. Spencer James, okay? He's the hero and I'm the villain. That's what you want everybody to believe, right? I'm like, listen, we have not felt like that since season 1. Get over yourself, Asher, okay? John B., you have not been the villain in a very long time. You're a supportive friend. There are no villains on this show, okay? And that's why we love this show. This show is about obstacles, not about bad people, okay? Which makes it easier to watch, unlike reality shows that make people like the issue, not obstacles. Anyway, JJ really wants them to talk about it in front of everybody. And Asher says, listen, I already know who killed you. It was Spencer because you probably had something that he wanted. We all know he'll do whatever it takes to get what he wants. And I was just like, way to project, Asher. The whole issue that y'all have right now is that you use personal information about Spencer in your job as a assistant coach that you're trying to do. You know, you use that. Okay. So I know Bo dead, so they don't count no more. That like if they fish him off, it's not a person, it's a circumstance. Like all of that hood shit, it's not about them. It's about the circumstances. You know what I'm saying? So because I just kind of feel like when they make one person a villain, that person is consistently a part of, you know, the anti in the storyline. And there's nobody consistently anti. Everybody that's a villain eventually is taken off the show. Because the show is not about, like, you know, Spencer versus the villain. It's about the clique and the obstacles they go through in life and how they navigate that. It's giving more Family Matters than anything else these days. It's the 2022 version of the shows that taught us to have a moral compass when we were growing up. I think that's what All American is trying to do in this day and age. And I appreciate them for that, because I ain't gonna lie, it's missing. All y'all watch is reality TV. Y'all don't watch shows like we used to watch growing up that gave us all this perspective on the world from a positive point of view. Like when I be watching Living Single back, I'm like, that shit really shaped how as a woman we was not taking no bullshit. Like Maxine and Khadijah and Regine and all of them and Sinclair, like everybody, they really set the frame up for us as Black women moving into the 2000s and the 2010s and all of that. We were raised by strong, independent, not gonna take no bullshit. You know, I'm not dealing with just no anything ass nigga. Like women were really promoting that in that time frame. And I feel like we got away from it. And then it became basketball wives and let's find a nigga to take care of us. You know what I'm saying? Everything is about finding a nigga to take care of you. It's not about women, you know, having their own shit and becoming bosses in their own right. So I feel like we started regressing after the 90s, and now we're trying to find our way out of that regression, if you ask me. Okay, with shows like this, but you know, y'all don't pay attention like because y'all like all of that ratchet shit. Y'all need people to be fighting all the time to make y'all feel good about fighting all the time in y'all real life. That's why y'all hoes was in my video mad at me yesterday because I told y'all not to get BBLs. They was big mad. I knew they was gonna be. Whenever you tell them there's something they don't want to hear, they get mad at you and try to come at your neck, bitch. You talking about what the chick said, y'all? What she said? I posted it on Twitter talking about you said you wanted to get surgery, but you didn't have the money. I said, girl, that's a lie. I said that's a lie. That don't even feel true to my spirit at all. I ain't never said no shit like that. And ultimately, I know what the fuck I did do. I know what I did do, and I showed y'all me doing it every day that I was doing it on Instagram. Y'all have been with me on this journey. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Like, girl, yeah. Oh, I've been watching them. The way Dwayne Wayne and Whitley Gilbert walked off of that show was some beautiful shit, boy. Hit dogs will holler. Oh yeah, they was mad. Yeah, I had a comment or two that they was just saying, like, well, hope you're okay today. But I'm sorry. I appreciated the fact that I grew up with the women of the era that didn't feel the need to do those things to themselves and kind of prided, you know, themselves on being naturally beautiful. Like I'm glad, you know, thank you. I'm glad I came from that time frame because this time frame of trying to make yourself look like other bitches is that shit don't look healthy to me. I don't care what y'all talking about. Okay. And to me, that's what it feel like. It feel like trying to make yourself look like another bitch. That's kind of what it's starting to feel like, especially when the surgeries, like when you notice how all them girls start looking alike. Tell me they're not a string of black girls that look exactly alike. Nene, Tamar, add somebody else onto it. K Michelle, add somebody else onto it. Like they just be looking alike after a while. Then you be like, what is going on? Nobody looks like themselves anymore. I was watching a video with Cut Close and I was like, I miss the natural beauty of women tonight. Right. It really wasn't no extra shit at all. Bitches was just on camera with foundation, lipstick, and eyeliner. Mascara, bitch. And a good weave. What? Okay. What's going on? They all went to the same doctor. Yeah, Larsa Pippen and them. Yes, they look like Kim. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's why I'm just like, I don't feel like that's what's hot. But if y'all think that's what's hot, then y'all do what the fuck y'all want to do. I don't really care. I'm just doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? Talking about I'm on a soapbox. I don't know fucking soapbox. I work out every day. I ain't sitting on my ass telling you some shit I don't know. I'm telling you some shit that I'm experiencing and I'm sharing with you. And you don't like the way I'm saying it because y'all like for people to validate y'all doing dumb shit so you can feel good about doing dumb shit. And I'm like, nah, don't do that dumb ass shit. I don't care. I'm not gonna change my viewpoint. I'm also not gonna change my tone. So deal with it. Because I feel like I can't keep playing with y'all. You know, y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta make the girls money. So y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do. The surgeons need their money, you know. But just be careful, girl. Just be careful. You know, that's all. Just be careful. So Jordan tries to talk to Layla, but he's acting like, you know, he hasn't really been ghosting her. And she thinks that he blames her for his breakup with Simone. Billy tells Grace that she should go to Oakland, and she tells him the school board voted last night and he's the principal. Whether she stayed or not, he's the principal. So then they find the validation. They find the vandalism, and it was janitor. Like I said, it was. I knew it was janitor. It wasn't no real janitor. She was like, yeah, our janitor was like old as hell, and he retired last week. And it's like, oh Lord, he was sitting up there setting it up the whole time. So y'all, JJ reveals the plot that them all not being friends killed him. And it's like, first of all, that don't make no sense. But I almost felt like, so what, JJ, did you kill yourself? Like, what's going on, Jay? You got to make it sense. You got to make this make sense for us because it didn't make sense. Okay. It didn't make sense. I understood what you was trying to do though. They clowned him, and he tells them real seriously that what they have is special, okay? And they have been drifting, and sooner or later they'll all be a distant memory, and that's okay if they want to look down on him because he's trying to make them keep the special shit they got going on all up and through here, okay? So y'all, Spencer and Asher heed and make up, okay? Kiss and make up. It's family in this bitch, okay? Let's get it crunked up on the fun up on the in this dancery. We got y'all open, now you're floating, so you got the dance for me. No hateration, holleration in this dancery. Let's get it percolated while you waited. So let's dance for me. Come on, everybody, get on up. Cause you know we about to get it crunk. Mary J is in the spot tonight, and I'ma make you feel alright. Come on, baby, just party with me. Let loose and set your body free. Leave your situations at the door, so when you step inside, jump on the floor. Don't do it. Anyway, what's going on, DeQuasia? Okay, growing trends of BBL surgeries. Okay. All right, I'll look into that, girl. I'll look into that. I don't know why they be upsetting me. Like, I'm not trying to shit on nobody. I want y'all to be like, I just want y'all to be aware, man. I just want y'all to be aware. And I feel like everybody be talking that shit until they go get that shit, and then they be on the other end of it like, I shouldn't have done it. I'm like, all right, man, whatever. But yeah, y'all, it's a family affair. We made up. Patience tells Coop that she likes this new version of her, and they proceed to go ahead and hunch. I was like, they hunching again. Jordan admits that he has feelings for Layla, and he can't make the feelings go away, even though he's tried, because he thinks that she feels the same way about him. He doesn't want to anymore. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. You guys. Layla and Jordan are finally happening. Layla and Jordan are finally happening. I've been waiting so long for this. I've been seeing it for years. I've been seeing it for seasons. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful. I'm really, really grateful. Now that I think about JJ Murder Mystery was kind of the plot of the first Wives Club, the movie, because old girl jumped after the friends grew apart and her husband married a woman 30 years her junior. She sure did. That's why I was asking, was that the situation? I think that Patience had the wrong movie, because she said, so you basically ripped off Murder on the Orient Express because they all took turns killing the same person. But no, that's not the same. He was a bad person that had done terrible things to all of those people. And that's why they all felt like they were justified in all killing him. They all stabbed him, each of them. A whole bunch of different types of cuts. So that confused them. That's why it took us a long time to figure out that murder mystery. Olivia and Spencer were about to get into an argument about him making her doubt herself. I said, here you go. Here you go, Olivia. This is what's going to cause an issue between you and Spencer. Because as much as Spencer tries to be the perfect boyfriend, you still find a way to make him responsible for your pitfalls. He makes you doubt yourself. How when that man just told you he didn't like the fact that you were going to not do the story you wanted to do because you were worried about him? How does he make you doubt yourself? That doesn't even make sense. You doubt yourself anyway, and you trying to make him responsible for it. Girl, that's what's going to end up running him off. Watch Davita be sitting right. That's the girl name, right? Davita? What's the girl name? Excuse me. What's the girl name? What's the girl name, y'all? Davina? Whatever the girl name is that helping him with his brand, watch she scoop on in and get her a nice black man early in college. Okay, watch. So they can go and be a power couple together. Watch. Okay. And as JJ is talking about his last surprise for everybody, the police busting. Apparently somebody sent SWAT to their house. I don't know why, but that shit was scary. It's Davita, right? That's what I said. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck going on and why the police bust into their house, but somebody sent Olivia a text with a little devil emoji on it. So I guess we're going to find out, girl. But anyway, y'all, we're about to move on to the last show. which is All American Homecoming. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. I am going to ask for y'all to like the video, and I'm going to go run and get me some more water because I'm out and I need it. All right, a little bit parched. So yeah, do me a solid, do me a favor, and like the video. I'm back. Wait a minute, don't you hear me, baby? Okay. It's gonna be alright. You don't have to fight. Okay. Okay. This is the blue raspberry. I'm about to mix this with some limoncello. But I have a workout to get done. And I'm not feeling it. Not even a little bit. Not even a lot. So, in order not to spend most of the time downstairs, I decided to come up here and do my pouring. Hey, look at me. All right. So it's homecoming. It's homecoming. And Damon's mom runs into him and Thea coming off of a little date. And it seems as if his mom did not know about Thea and how serious things were getting with Thea. And so she's like, how are JR, Santiago, Simone? Because the last time she saw him was when he came to talk to his daddy and Simone was with him. And it was very much given, they've got a thing going on. That's what it was given. Okay. Amara confronts Ezekiel about finding out that Ringston is going to merge with a PWI Willis Cobb University because of low revenues and low enrollment. Okay. And Ezekiel let her know, look, I've done everything I could. Everything I can think of. This is all I could do to keep the school from closing down permanently. So the tennis team is playing against some pros who honestly look down on them. And one of them had to let Thea know that she will never be good enough to beat her. Girl, bye. Damon talks to JR about how hard it is keeping from his mom that he is his dad's biological son because his daddy was a slut that slept with a woman he met at a damn cafe, okay, and had a cheatation with her, and then convinced his wife that they were adopting a baby and she didn't know nothing about the adoption. Girl, do you not know that adoption agencies have to come to the house? They have to see who the baby is coming to. How you thought you really got a baby through an adoption agency and nobody met you? How you thought that went down? So the fact that the mama really was like taken aback when she found out from Damon later on that, you know, that was really this man's son, this biological son. I was like, girl, you too smart. This is when you know women decide to lie to themselves for men. Because you know that didn't make no damn sense. Okay? You know that didn't make no damn sense. And you going to sit up here and act like, what? That's not true. Your father would never cheat on me. Girl, you really thought a baby just came? Girl. Coach Marcus is just, oh my God, he's spiraling out of control. Y'all know he decided to stop taking his medication, and it's obvious that he must be bipolar because he is manic as okay. He's up, then he's down, then he's angry. Arr! We're nervous. We don't even know what it's like for him to be like this. We so used to Coach Marcus being zen. This shit it's ridiculous. He's on the up end of his mania, and Damon has to ask him, Coach, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? You know what I'm saying? Oh, nothing, bro. Here, let me flip this burger. He's just doing 99 things at one time. It's really crazy to watch. So Keisha looks like she was ready to tell Cam that she wanted to be with him. But you know, he sings in that little troupe. And that little other chick, she the head of it, right? I forgot her name, y'all. Beautiful girl. But she always singing. So she came and sat down. Did you see my text message? He said no. Or he said yes, but it is too long, long. Something like that. Okay, but they were singing to each other and Keisha felt played. Keisha felt like they may have a thing going on. That's kind of what it felt like. So she got up and dismissed herself. Okay. Damon and JR are at the tennis match watching Thea, and Simone comes over thinking they were there to see her. Thea comes over, kisses Damon, and then they leave together because she needs food. Simone has this obviously uncomfortable look on her face that JR picks up on, and he asks her, if she's okay, if we awkward. She's like, it's fine. It's fine. And then her teammate comes over and she finds out that her and her teammate have to play against each other. And they're playing for the last 6 spots on the team. If the other girl doesn't win, she loses her scholarship. If Simone doesn't win, then Simone loses her spot to play. Okay. So yeah, it's a lot on the line. They got Round Brown, y'all. Y'all know I called her Round Brown when she was on Queen Sugar dating Ralph Angel for half a second. And I loved her. I absolutely adored her. Okay. Because she just, I don't know, she had such an energy about her when she was in that role, and they shot her so beautifully. I just really appreciated, her beauty in that role. Well, on here, they got her with a stiff wig roller wrap. I said, not a stiff wig roller wrap. Y'all really don't want us to like her. Okay. She's talking to Zeke about putting up pictures of white app developers next to Zora Neale Hurston. And people of that, because I forgot there's some other people, but people of that caliber. It's like, no, like you are not going to act like a app developer is on the same level with the people from the Harlem Renaissance that basically change the entire fabric of the country. Like outside of changing the fabric of the country, what it did for Black people, like having that artistic renaissance in the Black community, absolutely, I believe, led to a lot of light in a dark time for us. You know what I'm saying? And it went to making a lot of Black people not only famous but rich, even if they weren't always rich. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we are still fully affected. So I know the cinematography in Queen Sugar is A1. So that's why I was like, I understood where Amara was coming from, and Zeke understood as well and was like, yeah, no, everything stays as is. We're not moving this. Stop it. So Marcus goes off on Ralph, the journalist who's doing the story on the baseball team, and them, basically coming back from the pits of what happened back in the day with the teams using the PEDs. And so he tells him to stay the hell away. Marcus tells Ralph to stay the hell away from his staff and team. Then he goes off on his assistant coaches and fires them on the spot. Damon's mom talks to Thea and Damon to get y'all, my words are all over the place. I'm sorry. To get to know Thea a little bit better. And at first she had this stank ass look on her face, and I was like, so what you want the girl to give you blood? What's going on? Like, what's the pain look on your face? But she read the shit out of Thea and said, so basically you walk around with the weight of the world on your shoulders, but you're learning how to handle that. But you're impressive and you have a lot of discipline and you're ambitious and you're a bright little light, aren't you? All right. Okay, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. My bright light, my little light. Thank you, Felicia, for the cash app. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Sorry, had to do it. But that's how Thea feels. Thea does feel like a little light running all over the place these days. Like she, just just buzzing all over the place, light and happy, and I love it. Okay, I love it. I love it. I love it. So Damon takes this time to tell his mom that he found his birth mom and he found out who his biological father was. She was not happy with finding out this information, not even a little bit, not even at all. She didn't even want to believe him when he told her that he found out his dad was actually his biological dad. Okay, so she kind of just gets up and runs off and says that she'll talk about it later. And then later on, she wants to do fact checking herself because she doesn't want to believe it. So she wants to believe that it's a lie. And it's like, ma'am, all y'all got to do is do a DNA test. But Damon told her that he did a search for an adoption and there is no record of his adoption. And that's probably because there was never an adoption. The lady had a baby and gave it to the baby daddy. Okay, hold on, you guys. Give me one sec. All right, and we're back. I'm sorry. Okay, Lyric is coming home for lunch because he wants to see the sofa. Okay, so yes, back into the notes. Keisha talks to Cam and tells him she's ready. She's ready to love him forever. Hey, love now. Come love me forevermore. That's what it was feeling like she was saying to him when she talked to him. She said, I'm ready. Okay, she said, I'm ready. And Cam ran like a little bitch. That's no disrespect to Cam, but she played with his emotions and he didn't know if he could trust her. Okay. Simone ends up doing the tournament and beats the homegirl, so we don't know what's gonna happen. Amara talks to Ralph about holding off on the article about the merger, so that they can use it to get support. They want to make sure that they can get alumni to help make more money before they put it out there. But somebody ended up finding out anyway, and they ended up pulling out of the merger, and the $4 million that they raised wasn't enough. Ralph tells Marcus he realized he let Amara take the hit for the cheating scandal. Y'all, so that was one of the things. When Marcus went off on Ralph when he was talking to the assistant coaches, he said something about he wanted to know who the mole was, who informed Amara on the whole situation with the cheating scandal with the baseball team. And when he blew up like that, it made Ralph realize that he was the one. Now, nobody knows that he's bipolar and that he's not on his medication, so they don't know that he's manic. They just recognize that he's telling on himself with his actions, but because he's not clear, he doesn't understand how he's actually coming off to people. I felt so bad for Marcus's episodes, y'all. This shit broke my heart. But he blew up about it, and Ralph was like, nah, I realized that you were Amara's source and you let her take all of the backlash for it because she told you that she could handle it, but she shouldn't have had to handle it. He checked the fuck out of him. And the funny part is, I remember Ralph when Ralph was a kid actor. So watching him be all grown right now is hilarious to me. I believe he might have been one of the kids on Family Matters or something. One of the friends. One of the youngest kids' friends or something. So Ralph tells Marcus, oh, wait, no, I said that part. Oh, right. So after he, blew up his spot and told him that he knew he was the source, Marcus gets on the mic because it's homecoming. So they got events going on. It's all of this stuff is happening. So he gets on the mic and tells everybody that he did it. that he's the one who told Amara what was going on, and he did the right thing, damn it. And he just has to quiet the voices, and they have no idea what it's like to be him. And y'all, Damon and JR had to get him off the microphone. It was so sad and it was so embarrassing, especially because they don't know what's going on with him. And everybody, you could tell everybody felt sad, but they also didn't know how to feel, because now he's dropping his bombshell that he's the one that told what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And of course, some of the players, they feel like they can't trust him because they feel like he made them lose out on playing last season. So right now, half the team is looking for him, the other half is not. And it's a shit show. Thea's opponent destroys her racket. So Simone gives her racket and tells her, girl, get your ass out there and do what you know how to do, right? And she does. Cam singing homegirl tells him that he needs to give Keisha a break and believe what she said, because it probably took a lot for her to be honest and own her crap. I'm like, yeah, y'all are in college and y'all are like making the type of emotionally intelligent decisions for yourselves that 30-year-olds figure out. Like, we're just now figuring out how to handle our relationships better and do what we need to do for ourselves before we go into relationships. And Keisha is like 19 years old and shit. Like, I just needed to get myself together. I went to therapy. I did some work on myself and now I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, girl, Cam, you better stop playing and be with that lady. Okay. So Amara gets the alumni to use their contacts and give some damn money. I told y'all they raised $4 million after they finished complaining about Zeke as if they was listening to him when he was asking them for money all these years. Okay. Thea ended up overhearing the conversation between Simone and Damon right before her match, y'all. And she heard Damon talking to Simone about what happened with his dad. And then at the end of it, he asked Simone if she ever thought about what would happen if they were together. And she was like, all the time. And Thea was in tears and she was so upset. And she had to go and play after that. And at first, she was struggling. But then, Simone and Damon was sitting in the crowd and Simone was like, you got this. You know what I'm saying? Take a deep breath. You got this. Because they don't know she heard them. They just still there to support her. And she took a deep breath. And she murdered that bitch, okay? And then she runs over to Simone, hands her racket back and says, this thing is obnoxiously heavy and I don't know how you play with it. And then just runs off. And they were kind of like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know what's going on. So Simone ended up not making the top 6. The girl who she played against, even though she won against that girl ended up getting in the top 6 because all her previous games were good. And the coach said that Simone did, she did the work, but it just wasn't good enough yet. So it just means she can't play for the rest of this year, but maybe next year. And honestly, if somebody gets hurt or somebody else can't play, then she may get an opportunity to play again. So it's fucked up, but it's only her freshman year. So Damon apologizes for not telling Thea about what happened with his family because he went to see her and she was like, why didn't you tell me about, she was like, basically she said, I heard your whole conversation with Simone, but she really wanted to understand why he didn't feel safe telling her about what was going on in his family. And he was like, because it's dark and you are light and I didn't want to muddy it up. I kind of wanted to separate the two. But he promises no more lies. And he admits that, yes, that him and Simone were really close, but nothing ever happened between them. And so there wasn't really anything to tell like that, but he should have been honest with her. And from now on, that's what he's going to do. And she says, okay, but she didn't tell him that Simone and Jordan are broken up. She knows Jordan and Simone are broken up and he doesn't. He thinks that, well, Simone has Jordan and I have you, and I'm glad it didn't work out with her because, now I get to be with you. And it is true. But she absolutely kept that information to herself because she knew it might alter how he felt. And eventually it's going to come out anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I understand, girl, it don't have to come from you. Okay? Keisha decides that she didn't come at Cam hard enough. And I appreciated this about her. I was like, Keisha, you're a girl after my own heart. Keisha said, well, I feel like I didn't come at you hard enough the first time. So this time I wanted to come correct. And she actually had like something that she wrote to express how she felt to him. And after she finished reading it about how she wants the future she wants for herself, she sees Cam in it. And with him realizing that, like, that's what she wants, that made him feel like, all right, yeah, I want to do it. And he picks her up and hugs her, and it's really cute, and I'm here for it. Okay. And then they have an emergency family meeting that everybody has to show up for. And this is when Amara tells them that the merger, that's not happening, but they still need to raise more money by the end of homecoming. And I forgot how much they said they need to raise, but they need to raise buku money by the end of homecoming. So they're going to have to do a lot next episode to make that money. And Marcus leaves a message on Amara's phone saying that, she's been a great friend, a great person in his life, but he is tired and he's ready to go, and she needs to just let him go and let him find peace. And I was like, Marcus is manic and out of his mind, and he's going to kill himself because of it. And I'm just like, no, like, please fix it, Jesus. They have to find him. They have to find him. Nobody knows where he is. They have got to find him. Y'all is not killing Coach Marcus off the show, okay? But can I ask y'all a question? Hollywood people, can y'all explain to me why y'all are coloring Coach Marcus's hair? Did anybody notice it? Is anybody else not watching this show in HD? I feel like the things they used to be able to do with hair and makeup back in the day, they can't do those things anymore because we can see everything. I'm like, why is there paint on Marcus's scalp? Like, what is that supposed to do? I have seen this man in real life. He has hair. Okay? Corey Hardick has hair. Where's Corey? I follow Corey Hardick. Okay? And his wife. I love them. Been following them for years. Okay? Let me go to a regular picture. Where's a regular picture? Oh, is he doing that himself because he doesn't want to gray? Is that what's happening? Corey, please stop doing that because we can see it. It's giving Jermaine Jackson. It be giving Jermaine Jackson. I don't know why. I don't know why. Yeah, I feel like in regular life he don't do that. But on the show, yeah, it looked like in regular life he don't wear his hair like that. But on the show, maybe it's a wig. I don't know. I don't know what to believe. But I want him to stop coloring his scalp. I don't think it's necessary. And I don't know why it's happening. But I noticed it. And I was just like, yeah, at the edges. Y'all saw it? It wasn't just me? Okay. Because I was like, why it look like it's about to start dripping at any moment? Why are y'all doing that? I don't get it. Because like his hair, you could just color his hair. Just color his hair. Why are y'all spraying his scalp? He has hair. I don't know. Is it? I don't think it's a Tyler Perry wig. Because that's what's in a lot of his pictures. And he has hair. Like he has hair. Like he has a hairline, y'all. Like he has hair. That's his real hair. He's coloring it in on the sides. He doesn't have to though. It looks fine. Like he got a full hairline. If he's talking about the widow's peak, that's normal. That's how heads look. Y'all gotta stop being, irregular about this shit. He's painting his scalp. But anyway, y'all, hair look like earphone covers. Yes, that's what it is. It looks like headphone cover hair. That's why I be calling it Velcro, because it's like Velcro. Are they gonna drop the food off and come back? What's going on? Anyway, y'all. I love y'all. I gotta go get my husband's food from downstairs. But I will talk to y'all later. Okay. Y'all know I'll be on the Ooh Ladies First panel tonight on Jay Lee's Corner. So y'all make sure that y'all come through and support. And y'all know I'll find something to come with y'all with tomorrow. Okay. I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed. I enjoyed y'all. And I'll holler at y'all later. I'll be in the